Hello everyone and welcome to TTT Markets. I am Fotis Papafeofanos, I'm a professional trader, and in this video I'm going to show you how to pass any prop firm challenge just like a professional trader. This is a step-by-step guide that is going to help you supercharge your performance. So, you want to pass a prop firm challenge and finally get funded? You have probably seen hundreds of traders trying and failing to reach that profit target or survive the drawdown limits. But what separates the few who actually make it from the many who blow their accounts? As I said in this video, I will break down step by step exactly how to prepare, trade, and stay consistent once you are funded. Stick with me until the end because I will also share the biggest mistake traders make right after getting funded. So you come to TTT Markets and you decide to buy a challenge. Now pay attention to this. Before placing a single trade, learn the rules like a lawyer. Every prop firm has slightly different requirements, and misunderstanding one detail can end your challenge instantly. Most firms require anything from 6 to 8 to 10% profit target and a 4 to 5% daily drawdown limit, as well as a 10% total drawdown limit. Some allow news trading or overnight holding, others don't. And then there's the consistency rule, meaning you can't make all your profits in one lucky trade. So once you come to TTT Markets website, to the page, you scroll down, and the first thing you need to do, just like a lawyer, as I said, is to pay attention to the rules. Every firm might have slightly different rules. They look similar, but also the smallest detail can end your dream of getting funded. So the first thing you need to do is to decide which challenge is the best for you. Is it the one-step, the two-step instant funding, and so on. And then pay attention to the profit target, the daily loss, and the maximum loss. So here, for example, on the two-step $100,000 challenge, this is the profit target, step 1, 8%, daily loss 4%, and the maximum loss is 8%. You can see this here in dollar terms, so the profit target is 8,000, the daily loss means during the day, on an intraday basis, you cannot lose more than $4,000. And the maximum loss, the maximum, is 8,000. So that means you can lose, let's say theoretically, 2,000 in one day, 2,000 in another, but overall, as your drawdown accumulates, it cannot exceed 8% or 8,000. So you need to study this like a lawyer and be very clear what are the requirements and what are your goals. The next thing you need to do, and as you can see here, I have opened a profit calculator, is you need to build a strategy for the challenge. But before you do this, you need to decide your risk. Passing a challenge isn't about being aggressive. You don't try to hit a home run. It's about being structured and disciplined. Build a plan that fits the firm's limits. Decide how much you will risk per day, which is ideally around 1% or less. So for example, here is Euro USD. The account size, if it is 100,000, what is the maximum lot size? How much you can risk? If you decide to take a trade, for example, if you decide to sell the euro, I'm going to choose here, sell one lot. If you decide to sell, let's say at 117, this is just a random example. Do not go ahead and sell the euro. As I said, it's just an example. And my risk is going to be 117.40, one lot, calculate. So that's $400. Is this something that can help me? Can I live with this? Does this agree with the requirements and the limits of the challenge? What happens if I risk 40 pips, but if I decide to risk 4 lots? 1600. Do I agree with this? What happens if you have 3 losses in a row and you use this kind of leverage? That's it. Your career in the prop trading world is over. So you must be very careful when you decide how much to risk. So this is my advice to you. Break down your goal into small, consistent steps. Aim for around 2% per week, even 1% per week would be fantastic, over 4 weeks, instead of trying to hit 8% in 1 or 2 days. Don't try to do this. Now, secondly, and very important as well, choose a trading system you trust. Price action, supply demand, or algo-based, you use an expert, whatever it is. Make sure it's tested. You have tried this with real money before, so suddenly you are not affected by psychology as you lose real money. And also, it is something that matches your personality. If you like to scalp, don't go for a swing trade. Or if you are a swing trader, don't go for a scalping strategy. Stick to one market session, like London or New York, and avoid overtrading. And as I said, with this example here, leverage is not your friend. You don't need 1 to 100 leverage to pass the challenge. You need patience and discipline. Having said that, let me now open up a chart. And here I have Euro USD because it is the most popular currency pair. Think like a risk manager, not a gambler. Professional traders define risk before they even think about reward. As I showed you before, remember when we were calculating the position size according to how much we can afford to risk, depending on the requirements, you need to stop thinking like a gambler. For example, potentially you can say, oh, the euro has broken the trend line, it will go back to 119. Maybe, maybe not. That is not the issue. Your issue, your problem, is not trying to think what will happen next in the euro. You are not a fortune teller. You are not trying to predict the future. So forget trying to guess what happens next. Forget fantasizing about, oh, I'm going to make so much money if I risk X amount of lots and it goes to 119. Maybe this doesn't happen. Professional traders define risk before they even think about reward. So the only thing you control is your risk. It is not the reward. The reward might come or might not come. The only thing you control is how much you are going to lose. So for example, if I use this, and let's say the entry is here at the trend line, I'm going to say, where is my stop? My stop is if we move back inside the trend line. So something like this. What is potentially my profit target? Well, just to be fair, my first profit target, if we pass the resistance, this resistance over here, at 116.90 is 117.30. That should be for now, for this time frame, potentially my maximum reward risk. But I may as well get stopped right here. Is this something that I am comfortable? What are the statistics of my P&L here? So I am risking 750 to make 2,000. That's a risk reward of 4. Yes, that's fine, isn't it? That's a very good risk reward ratio. My risk is 4 times smaller than my reward, or my reward is 4 times larger than the risk. This is how professionals think. So if you say, right, my risk is this, my risk is, let's say, $500, I can afford to lose $500 based on the requirements of the challenge. I'm going to make 4 times this. I'm going to make 2,000. That's acceptable. It's simple math and keeps you consistent and prevents overexposure. The other thing you need to do is journal your trades daily. Use a journal, it could be an Excel sheet or something else you use, and record the setup, the risk, the result, and what you learn from this. Over time, your equity curve should look very smooth, not like a roller coaster. You want your equity curve to be smoothed without any sudden ups and downs. You don't want volatility in your P&L, and to have a steady, consistent performance. The other thing you need to master is psychology and discipline, because let's be honest, the hardest part isn't the technical. You can see it broke the trend line, you can see the Fibos, you can see the moving average, you can see the risk reward. So it's not the technical part, it's the psychological part. The pressure of knowing that if you make a couple of mistakes, it can fail your challenge. It creates tension and fear. That's why you must treat the account like it's already real money. Don't think, oh, it belongs to the prop firm, I have nothing to lose. Oh no. Treat this like your own, like it is your real money. Never trade from fear of missing out. Don't chase losses after a ready day. Don't do this. Calm down. Treat this like your own money. Try to avoid falling into these psychological traps. The best traders that I personally know, they understand when not to trade. They know when to keep away from the markets if they don't have their edge. Passing the challenge. Please pay attention to this. Passing the challenge is 80% mindset and 20% technical analysis. It's 80% you trade your own belief systems. Now, if you do all this and you pass the challenge and you get funded, what is your next goal? You need to remain funded. Getting funded is just the beginning. You just hit one goal, but what's the next goal? Getting funded is not the finish line. So once you are funded, your goal changes. It is no longer about hitting 10%. It's about staying consistent. Why you should do this? Because let me show you something here in the challenge. So let's say you are funded. The profit target is as much as you make, but now you don't have the pressure that you must hit a specific profit target. It's whatever you make, and you get to keep 80%. So your goal shouldn't be simply, oh, I need to pass the challenge. It is to remain consistent and start building your wealth. That's the goal. So you need to remain and stay consistent. You need to keep your account alive as long as possible. As I said, aim for anything between 1 to 2 or up to 4% profit per month. Withdraw regularly and protect at all costs your drawdown limit. Prop firms reward consistency, not huge spikes. So if I go back to the chart, you will not get rewarded if you hit a home run and it goes to 119. You will get rewarded, but my point is, if you have this kind of mentality, it is only a matter of time before blowing up your account. So you need to become consistent. We don't like huge spikes. Remain consistent. Stable traders often get scale-ups. They do well, they perform well, and the prop firm is going to reward them, and it is going to scale up. Higher profit splits and even private allocations. So this is your goal. You need to start trading and behaving like a professional. So treat your funded account like a business partnership. It is your skill, their capital, and you share profits. So if I come back to this, what is the summary. What is your goal? Let's sum it up. Number 1, know the rules. Come here, go to tttmarkets.com and pay attention to the rules. Study them like a lawyer. Make sure you understand the requirements. Secondly, build a plan. Do not trade randomness. Do not just try to hit a home run and get funded. You will not make money like this. Number 3, manage your risk. Be aware what your risk is, how much you are risking at any time, and feel comfortable with this within the parameters of the challenge. Next, control your emotions. Do not let psychology get in your way. And finally, stay consistent. If you can stay disciplined for 30 days, you can stay consistent for life. I'm Fotis Papatheophanous, thank you for watching, and if you found this useful, please go ahead and share it with a trader who is preparing for the next challenge. Trade smart, stay patient, and I'll see you at the next funded level.